Alright, looks like it's working. If I skip ahead to live, yep. Cool, it is working. Awesome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Naruto stream. Actually, before I do my introductions, the first thing I need to do is to go and share this to Twitter so everyone knows that it is working. Naruto stream. Cool. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Just wanted to know. Also, for some reason, it doesn't say that anybody is watching, even though there's clearly people in the comments section. So that's kind of weird, but I don't know. Yeah. No, I am talking, so you can hear me, right? Yep. Okay, yes, yes. I am getting 2 yeses, 3 yeses. Alright, okay, the lag is a bit, alright, okay. Question, can we still talk about Dragon Ball? If you want, but we're not necessarily going to be mentioning it because, I mean, this is a Naruto stream, so we're probably going to be talking about Naruto. Okay, so we've got 15 watching. Awesome. Cool. So people are actually here. I guess this will probably be a good time to start. Actually, introduce everything. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to the Naruto stream, where it is a stream where we're talking about Naruto and stuff. Because, see, the thing is, it's to kind of explain exactly why this is a thing that is happening and why I'm doing this is, so I have basically been watching Naruto for a while, and I mean not watching Naruto, actually I'm reading Naruto, and I only just now finished it, so I'm just like, well, you know, since I've just finished Naruto, I might as well like actually talk about Naruto because it's a very long series, obviously, and the fact that I've finally gotten to finishing it, it's like, you know, clearly there's a lot of things I could talk about, lots of things, lots of thoughts, lots of like, you know, where it started, where it ended, yada 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 yada. It's a big, long, complicated series, and I bet also people are probably wondering also, how did I read Naruto? How is it that I was somehow getting through this all in the manga? Because I have a very interesting kind of story about it. So basically, the thing is, there is actually a well, there was now. I mean, it's still technically available, but there is an iOS app released by Viz Media, the guys who have the English distribution rights to Naruto and do the translations for the manga and everything. And what it basically was it was this app, this free app on your smartphone. And what it did was it allowed you to read a chapter of Naruto, and every like just one chapter a day. And what it would do is kind of like, once you downloaded a chapter, it would be like, it would be available for around a week, and after that you would go and you had it for around a week, and then it would sort of like expire. So it's like every day you got a new chapter, and then you could read that chapter for around 7 days, and then you could do that until it expired. And so by the time I found it, it was already like just finished about the Land of Waves arc, so like maybe in chapter 30s or so. But after that, I'm like, oh hey, you know, this is a really convenient way to read the story of Naruto. It's just one chapter every day. One chapter doesn't take very long to read, and it's also it's legal. I think that's the other reason why I liked it. It was completely legal because it was an official product done by the guys who are officially distributing it. And every time you got to the end of like a volume of Naruto that like they would sell you, it would say, oh cool, you've been finished reading this, so now would you want to go and buy it digitally? So really, in reality, it was just essentially a giant advertisement for Viz's digital mangas. But it was very helpful because, I mean, it kind of meant that I could get all the story and read it all with a completely clear conscience. And also because it was the manga. Technically now I have an Anime Lab subscription, and Anime Lab, like Crunchyroll, also has all of the Naruto anime on it. And so that's kind of really good because it means that, you know, I can read, I can watch the entire story of Naruto and watch the anime also legally, and also because I'm technically paying for it as well. So it's nice, but the problem with that is that Naruto filler and padding. I have heard a lot of horror stories about the anime. So the manga, at the very least, it's a lot more of a quicker pace and whatnot. So it's like it's nice. I think reading the manga is a much better way to do it. And I had this app, and it was like, oh, I really want to read Naruto. I'm going to read Naruto. I'm doing it all I'm doing it all completely legally, so it's great. And so I just finished it, and I'm like, I've got thoughts about Naruto. I have not actual thoughts, sort of thoughts, whatnot. And I'm like, let's talk about Naruto and stuff like that. So yeah. So basically, that's all of that, and yeah, I've got thoughts around the series and whatnot. So it's kind of interesting, but for a while, I'm just making checking things. Because yeah, the other thing about it is the other thing about this is like I have thoughts about Naruto, but I also the problem is since I've been reading only one chapter a day, it means that I've kind of been reading this for almost 2 years and only one chapter a day, and I haven't really been able to go back to look at other stuff because obviously it expires after 7 days, so I can't go and read the earlier parts. So it's sort of like the problem with this, like I've read all the story, but since it's been such a long time, I feel like I've also kind of forgotten a lot of things. So because of that, I was also kind of like, well, I don't really know if I can talk about this entire series on my own because I'm not really an expert here. I've basically been reading and watching it kind of casually. So it's like, I want to talk about Naruto, but I feel like I'm not exactly educated enough to actually talk about it. So I have gotten some people together, some people who kind of know a bit more about Naruto than I do, and I am going to eventually, I'm going to eventually come in I'm going to get everyone to come in. Hang on. Actually, I realized I never actually shared the link to them. Do I have that? Look at how professional I am. I know exactly what I'm doing, and you can hear my keyboard clicking and whatnot. I will get to the chat when I stop doing this introduction and stuff, so, I'm just telling everyone. So in the meantime, everyone's talking about, things and just looking at the chat and stuff. Good. Talking about filler. Fair enough. Talking about filler. That is a fair thing. Hey. Hang on. Sorry. Okay. So I'm gonna just let's see if this works. Okay, so now I am in the live stream chatty thing. Anyone who wants to come in from this secret magical chat thing that you don't even know, whoever wants to come in can come in at some point. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess, yes, keyboard sounds, I know. Very good keyboard sounds. I am going to block you as well. You know what's the best part about it? The best part about this is I can block people, and you can't even see the chat this time because the chat is not in the on the screen. It's just a picture of Naruto and whatnot. Okay, so alright, well in the meantime while I'm waiting for everybody else to come, maybe I'll answer some questions in the chat. Okay. I'm that one guy who looks through 16 volumes looking for one Kabuto quote. Yeah, I mean, it's even harder for me when I can't even, go back. I can't go back. Like, now at this point, my app right now, I can only really read the final Naruto Sasuke fight. I've only got the last 7 chapters, and also the first chapter, because the first chapter is always available. So, yeah. Okay, favorite character, or I guess I'll say this, favorite character, Naruto. I think, in terms of, for me, it's like, if I want to work out who my favorite character is, it oftentimes is like, oftentimes it's like I just kind of, you know when you have, cast shots of, all of the characters, and then you're just like, okay, So which character do I focus on first? Like when I specifically, you see everyone there and you're like, who do you specifically look at? And for me, I'm just like, I feel like that is the way that I work out who my favorite character is and all this stuff. But okay, yeah, why is everybody talking about Sakura? Are you trying to say that I like Sakura? Because no. So yeah, honestly, it's kind of a lame choice, obvious choice. Probably Hinata. I like Hinata. Hinata has it's like all of these characters have very much like sort of, I'm not gonna say they're one dimensional, but they're very much like, they have like specific kind of gimmicks to their personalities. And I feel like Hinata's gimmick to her personality is the one that is most like me, and she's fun and she gets character development. And obviously, also, since she ends up becoming Naruto's love interest, she gets to do a bit more than a lot of other characters can't specifically do. So I was curious about this back then. What's your opinion on Nagato, Pain? I like Pain. Pain is cool. And Nagato in particular. Nagato is a very cool character. So, I feel like maybe I'll talk about it more when we like actually talk about she chose best girl. Is Hinata best? I mean, I guess I thought that what's her name is best girl. Naruto's mom. Why do I... Kushina, that's it. I thought Kushina was best girl, but I don't know if that's actually true. But I like Kushina as well, because once again, it's like, with these characters in Naruto, especially because a lot of the time, like, all you really know are, like, their specific personality traits, and it's like, Kushina's ability to kind of just have a habit of just, like, talking and completely rambling, and then sort of, like, talking so fast that nobody else understands what she's saying. Yeah. No, I relate to that. I definitely relate to that. Naruto's mom's pretty cool. I also felt like I wondered if it was a kind of like, meanwhile, no one loves Ten still. If you guys saw me on Twitter a while ago, I made a poll on which, on who was more of a character, Goten or Ten, because they're both these characters who feel like they're kind of there to fulfill a quota, and then the authors couldn't think of anything to do with them, and so then it was just like, oh, okay, I guess that's it now. I guess that's what we're doing now, and so it's like, hashtag Ten. Hey, I mean, Ten kind of has a personality. I mean, she really likes weapons, and she thinks that Rock Lee isn't very cool. Like, that's fair enough. That's something, Like, she's got something to her, and I guess Goten has being a child and whatnot, and blah. What's your favorite opening? Well, I haven't actually watched a lot of the anime, so I can't really tell you about the openings. But obviously, the only ones I know are, like, the ones I particularly remember are the ones that everyone kind of talks about, so, like, Fighting Dreamers and Haruka Kanata. So, because I know those songs, and, like, Haruka Kanata in particular is really, I mean... Whoa, wait, somebody's here. What is that? Hello! No, it's fine. You got in, cool. I just heard just random, like, background noise, and I'm like, wait, what is that? Did somebody forget to turn on the microphone or something? No, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't be like embarrassed and stuff. We're talking about Naruto. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this is good. So yeah, this is Dan or Dan Bito. How do you want to be called here? Okay, so this is Dan. Dan knows about Naruto a bit more than I do, or at the very least a little bit more than I do. I don't exactly know, but okay. So Dan, what's your favorite Naruto opening? Oh, hang on. They said they can't hear you, so maybe I'll make this a bit louder for me. How do I do that? I forgot. I forgot how to Discord. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. what point in the series was that? Okay, that's cool. Right. Oh yeah, that moment when you realize why the Uchiha are in danger because Sasuke comes in and basically wrecks the entirety of the ninja world. He kind of was. I mean, I joke that Tobirama's kind of a bit racist, but he sort of had a point. Hashtag Tobirama was right. Still can't. Damn it. Okay, I don't. Hang on. Actually, let me just check OBS. Just go and say something. Oh crap. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna pause for a second. I will be back. Sorry, I'm back. That's annoying. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna try and see if I can make you louder, because I can hear you, but apparently the stream can't hear you. What do you mean? Yeah, so I'm trying to work out what, because like I'm just doing it from Discord, and then, because I'm pretty sure, or at the very least beforehand, I could do a thing where it would pick up, like I tried it before with on the Skype call, and people could hear both sides, or at least I could, when I recorded it, I could hear both sides. Hmm, yeah. Because like it looks like it's picking up you, but like really softly. So, and I put you guys to max volume as well. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see what the chat says. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. Yeah. Cause I don't know. Cause I got it. I was kind of getting it to work before, and maybe Skype is different to Discord, or I don't know. Ugh, that would. If not, I don't know. I guess I'll just. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but. Mm, I know I probably should have what do you call it, like tested this beforehand, but I'm like, how do you, because like how do you test a stream? I know, but because I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was working because I had because I tried a thing when I took a Skype call, and then I recorded it. I recorded it using OBS, and then I could clearly hear both sides. So doesn't seem like a volume issue. It's like I'm hearing it through your headphones or something, almost inaudible. Hmm. I don't know about to do it anyway, but I don't know. I'm just gonna try and keep. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could just keep going. I don't know. You guys can. I'm just thinking, cause like, yeah, yeah. I just thought it'd be yeah. I just thought it'd be fun to have multiple people here, but I guess I just didn't set this up properly. This always happens. Yeah, like ish, kind of. I mean, like, cause I watched well, I watched a bit of the last. I didn't end up finishing it, but I kind of watched. I watched some of it, and then I've watched a bit of Boruto, but not all of it. And I've read the Boruto manga. So what would it? Hmm. Yep. Just I don't know what I did. I just don't know what. Yesterday. Yeah, well, kind of. I sort of went halfway through it, and then I just kind of stopped because the piracy sites were very annoying. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then I'm like, because I can't. I mean, I had like one day to think about, and I'm like, oh, I should actually watch the last. And then I'm like, oh, hey, I don't have it streaming anywhere that's legal unless it's on Crunchyroll, but I doubt it's on Crunchyroll because it's a movie. Dribble Kenshin is asking if I've got wearing earphones, maybe if I unplugged and plugged them, but that would probably be worse then, because then you could probably be coming out of your voice would be coming out of my computer and then being picked up by the microphone, and then I'd probably be doubling, so that'd be kind of weird. You might not have the audio sources all running through the OBS the audio device OBS listens to. Maybe I'm thinking maybe it might have to do or something to do with the system preferences or something. Maybe I need to because I've done this before. I've done this before, or at least I feel like I did this once before, at least copying, but not Hang on. If I okay, what about this? Does it work if I change this settings? Yeah. Or is input or output? Because I've got an aggregate device here and a multi-output device, and I remember I have all these settings, and I don't know. Ah, this is why you always got to start off by testing these things. This is a thing to note for everybody who are thinking about doing streams. Actually test your stuff, or else you don't know what's going to be happening. Something like that, exactly. Yeah, the very thing at the very least is trial and error will help you for next time you stream. That is true. Okay, now I can move that, so that's not really changing anything. Well, if I do, or is it the multi-output device? If I do that, does that change anything? Wait, I can check this on OBS. So it looks like it's still, you can still hear me. I don't know. I don't know. Well, because the problem is like I can't really test this while doing it at the same time. I can't. I mean, I can't talk as well. That's what I also can't do. But I can't really like test this and also talk about Naruto because that's a lot of fancy multitasking. I don't know. Anyway, so in the meantime, I guess I'll answer some questions and stuff. Okay, you talk about your overall impressions, Naruto, favorite characters, arc, part one, or Shippuden. So it's I so yeah, Naruto is definitely a thing. It's a thing that I watch and stuff. I have been. What's my favorite? It's like favorite arc is probably the pain stuff, even if it's really mostly just because it is like the most like classical shonen that it ever gets. Part one or Shippuden, I think I do actually prefer part one, mostly just because like everything feels a little bit more grounded. Because the problem is like obviously the problem is in part two, even though like even from Pain onwards, even though I like Pain's cool, it's almost like the same thing with the Frieza arc. It's like the moment that Naruto starts becoming like getting like ninja Super Saiyan powers, it's sort of like, okay, now this is the point where it's gotten really hard to sort of relate to it and really sort of like believe it. It's I mean, it obviously it's always crazy ninja magic, but then at that point when you had like even crazier ninja magic and ninja super modes and ninjas and crazy things and whatnot, so then it was just like, ugh, it was just kind of silly and like it wasn't silly. Like it all had logic to it, but then like when you had stuff when it was just like Naruto was suddenly like throwing out multiple Rasen guns, and the Rasen Shuriken could now be thrown, and then you had like the Biju bombs and the things, and I'm like, I don't even know what all these things mean anymore. It's like, well, the power. It's not even like power inflation. It's just like at this point you have all these different things, and I don't know why they're all like, what's the pros and cons of all of them? Like one time you're going to go and throw a whole bunch of Rasen Shurikens. One time you're just gonna like get out a whole bunch of Biju bombs. Then you're gonna like I don't even know. Like remember when like the Rasengan was like this one thing, and it was just like this one thing that Naruto did, and it actually took him a really long time to learn it, and then it was like he didn't really use it all the time as well. Like actually, there's one thing. Hang on, what are you saying? In OBS, go to settings, audio, change desktop audio number 2. No, I mean, I can check what my settings are, but I'm pretty sure. Cause yeah, I've got. Is that the? I've got for my, if you guys have a Mac, I've got for my audio devices the Soundflower, and for my mic it's my mic, but I can't think of anything else it'd be, but yeah, anyway, so it's like, yeah, so we still enjoy the stream anyway. Oh, thanks. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get that to work. I thought that would be really fun to get to do it, but yeah, I guess I need to like actually test it, because I thought it was working, it wasn't working, whatever. I don't know, yeah. So yeah, it's like maybe up until the Chunin exams, there was a healthy balance of weaponry, jutsus, and hand-to-hand combat. From Valley of the End onwards, it was around the energy blast. Yeah, the energy blast. Like they did occasionally do things, like occasionally have like more down-to-earth stuff. And when they did that, it was actually really fun. Like, I remember in the fight with Obito, and then they had it was like the second Hokage and the fourth Hokage and Naruto and Sasuke, I think, and Sasuke as well, and then they were all just doing like a teleport battle, and that was really fun. Like you don't really think about like, okay, how what do you do if you're gonna do a fight between multiple characters who can all teleport, and they're like, okay, we're gonna like teleport together and then teleport here and then teleport there where you don't think you're coming, and it was like, that was fun. That was a really fun like We'll get him next time, Gabby. You know, maybe we'll do. Maybe I feel like I'm kind of It's a bit of a shame I couldn't get it to work, so I feel like I need to like make it up somehow. But yeah, whatever. But remember Kurama versus Naruto versus Haku? Naruto was just as mad when Sasuke died. I think that's a response to someone else. What was it? Yeah, it just gets more complicated as the jutsu gets more superpowered. It's like, see, as somebody, okay, to be fair, like, as somebody who actually does like the Dragon Ball Z era more than the Dragon Ball era, I'm not just gonna say just like, oh, you know, things, I just don't like it when the things are too complicated, make things hard to, like, this is always the problem, when things are too big and complicated and hard to see, and yada, yada, yada. Because this podcast is a bunch of talk no jutsu, lol. Yep, talk no jutsu. I mean, I guess I can't see a bit of myself in Naruto, or at the very least in my habit of just talking all the time. As there is one point in the manga where they translate Naruto, where they translate like Naruto saying that like he talks a lot, saying that he's Gabby, and I'm like, I get it, but it's my name. Look, Naruto is talking about me. I am Naruto, except I'm not. And I'm only like Naruto, and I talk a lot and sometimes have a bit of too much enthusiasm for really silly things, something like that. Yeah, plus, part 1 of Samurai Shippuden developed most of the cast until the show became the Naruto and Sasuke show. Yep, the hero and the rival show. I feel like I could talk all about like everybody's hatred for Sasuke Uchiha, and also like and like that Sasuke might be related to some of the reasons as to why I'm not really a fan of Vegeta nowadays, but not necessarily. I mean, that's just like that's me basically going into shonen conspiracy theory, so maybe not, but it's like, it's true though, like because I mean specifically the Chunin exam when they made a very clear goal to try and develop the other, well, not develop, but at least show us and show the gimmicks of the other what is the Genin teams, right? Is it Team 7, Team 10? Is there only 3 teams? Like, I feel like there's only 3 teams, right? There's like, yeah, because it's, what do you call it? Team Kakashi, there's Team Kakashi, and then there's Team Kurenai and Team no, there's 4, and there's Team Guy, and then there's Team Asuma. So there's 4. It's weird because I was just looking at the manga before, and they said something about how there's only going to be 9 people who go and become a Genin, but then there's only there's 12 of them then, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm getting my numbers confused, but I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What do you think about Kishimoto camera work? Kishimoto, he has some very interesting angles sometimes. It's fun. But I feel like I can't really remember any of them particularly, like as one thing. Okay, so alright, so wait, is it Guy's team is a year older? Is that it? I don't know. Is it really a Team 10? Oh, wait. Hang on. Is Team 10 that other YouTuber? Is that the problem? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I don't pay attention to those people, so I really don't know other than like memes and whatnot. Yeah, okay. Guy's team was from a year before. He didn't think they were ready for the test, so he held them back. Okay, that explains it then. Alright, that makes sense then. So it's like, okay, so there were only 9 teams, and then there were the teams the year before, but they also became like, kind of became tune-ins around the same time as well. But which is weird because like Rock Lee was pretty damn strong, and so is Neji. 1010 is whatever, but like Rock Lee and Neji, like they're like top tier young ninjas. I mean, like, you know, equal. I mean, like I am remembering this right? Isn't it Rock Lee and Sasuke have a fight before the Chunin exams, and then Rock Lee totally kicks Sasuke's ass. Like, that was the thing that happened, right? I'm not just collectively imagining things, right? Alright, I'm like looking immediately for responses, but there's like, no, there is a bit of a lag, so whatnot. I think I'll just disconnect this anyway, but okay, yeah, that did happen. All right, I'm not just imagining things, because that was like the coolest shit ever. Even if it's basically almost like a kind of a wolf thing, like, oh, look, oh my god, this new guy, I don't know who this new guy is, but he just beat up Sasuke, holy shit, and Sasuke is that guy who we've been established as really, really strong for a ninja, and has the Sharingan, is one of the Uchiha, and yada yada. I mean, he hadn't really, he didn't even really done much before that. I guess no, he done a bit, he helped. Wow, leave me in Discord. Sorry, Dan. I'm sorry. Also, sorry for hearing my chair squeak. It's very noisy. I know. Yeah. Lee and Neji are hyped to be OP, then Lee gets almost killed by Gaara and proceeds to become semi-useless while Neji dies a human shield. I mean, that's not true. They get some pretty good stuff in the Sasuke retrieval stuff. I mean, at that moment when Rock Lee just randomly shows up and saves Naruto from Kimimaro with like the coolest shit ever, because Rock Lee is the best character. He really is. I mean, what do you think of Lee vs. Gaara? Yeah. Oh, Lee vs. Gaara was really fun. I feel like the reason why everybody really especially loves it is also because of the anime. I never ended up watching the anime version, even though everybody told me to. So there is that, but like, yeah, no, it's fun. Like, Rock Lee is great because he's just like all shonen, inspirational shonen spirit. He's like, you know, like there's the one point where he's like, I think when he's talking about like, hey Zion, I think there's a part where he's talking about like he's gonna take off his like leg protector thingy's leg weights or whatever, or somebody says that oh no, I think Guy tells him to take off his leg weight, and then Lee's just like, but you said I could only do that when if I'm protecting somebody that I care about. And I'm like, that is just like so generic-y shonen-y, and it is the best. I mean, obviously Naruto is also generic-y shonen-y, but it's like, Rock Lee is a specific kind. Oh yeah, Drunk Lee. I forgot that he had a drunken fist thing, yeah. And then that never showed up. Part 2 had a lot of things that it could have continued on talking about, and then it kind of forgot, because then it got caught up in the Akatsuki, and then it got caught up in its own lore. Also, I prefer Guy to Lee, tear me apart. Well, they're both pretty great. On the bad writing on Sasuke, I read one of Sasuke's flaws would be that because he complains a lot about his dark past, but then doesn't expose that criticism, reinforce the idea that for men exposing vulnerability is bad. And the problem with that is just because, like, since basically all of the Uchiha that we see are all just guys, and it's basically in that they get their powers from being angsty, but it's like, it's bad. I guess really it's going to be up to Sarada to like kind of like really sort of see how that's going to work, because it's like, obviously when Tobirama's talking about the Uchiha, he kind of sort of saying that, like, you know, it's just like an Uchiha thing that, like, you know, when they express emotions and whatnot, it turns them crazy because it's like they care so much. So it's like, it's not necessarily gendered. I think it's just it's just kind of the issue is that, like, all of the Uchiha that we meet are guys, like all of them. This is why the Uchiha are kind of equivalents of Saiyans, because, like, for the longest time, they were just all just guys, just kind of, because they were all wiped out and the only remaining people were guys, so it was like, oh, well, yeah, there's just only going to be male Uchiha, just like there's only going to be male Saiyans, because why not? And then, like, finally, we got, like, female ones, and, yeah, I mean, like, Sarada isn't necessarily like Pan or whatnot, but, you know, interesting. I'm really... Sorry, Dribble Kenshin, I don't really have time to just, like, go in and... I mean, I could have time to go in and, like, you know, immediately fix all this stuff, but then it's like, I don't, I feel like that would be kind of... I'd probably have to stop the stream, and I don't know how to do that, and then, like, restart it again, and then, like, have the archives do the same thing, so I kind of just don't really want to stop it. Sarada's name might possibly be in reference to Saradayu cooking oil, which could reignite flame. Speaking of possibly reigniting the flame of the Uchiha, that is cool. And I thought the whole point was her name was supposed to be a pun on salad. So, I mean, I'm pretty it's pretty sure that Boruto is supposed to be Bolt because he's wearing a Bolt necklace. So, like, that is at least something that's part of it. No, that was actually pretty cool. At least the final villain is a woman. I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, Kaguya is kind of important. I'm not gonna say that, hey, you know, Kaguya is kind of weird, whereas, like, it's not fair that Kaguya is that, like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's like, because it's like, on the one hand, Kaguya is a villain, but on the other hand, it's like this sort of like idea, this sort of like almost like evil mothery kind of archetype, where it's sort of like, yeah, it's like all the power belongs to me and yada yada yada, and I mean, like. I mean, I feel like there is kind of like symbolism to that. The fact that, like, well, not necessarily that she's the final villain of Naruto, but just like the idea of her as a villain. It's that, like, she was the mother of chakra, and then her sons also had chakra, and then she got upset about that because she thought that the power needed to belong to her alone, and then she turned crazy and started to kill everybody, and then she became the moon, and also 10 tails, and also chakra itself, I guess. Both is a reference to Neji, which means screw. Neji also means screw? See, this is the other problem about everybody's names being in Japanese. I don't know what they mean. I know Naruto is that thing in ramen. I know Sasuke's the name of a real-life ninja. I know that, there's another one. Oh, yeah, I know that Kakashi means scarecrow for some reason. I don't know why Kakashi means scarecrow, and if that's an actual name or something like that. But to be honest, Madara should have won. Kaguya is an arsehole. Kishimoto doesn't know how to defeat Madara. I mean, I heard that, and maybe Kishimoto said that, but, like, that is kind of odd because, like, he had just given Naruto and Sasuke free power-ups. So, like, if he doesn't know how... I don't understand how he could say he doesn't know how to defeat Madara when he just gave them power-ups from the literal ninja god. So, like, surely surely that surely the ninja gods, surely the Sage of Six Parts can make Naruto and Sasuke as strong as they need to be for the plot to demand them, so that they can defeat Madara. Like, it wasn't like Madara was necessarily that OP. I mean, he was OP. Don't get me wrong. Like, he had like all 10 tails, and he knew like wood release and yada 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 yada. But still, like, it's weird, right? Kishimoto couldn't kill Madara as all. He had so many hacks. He started drawing himself. Like the statement Kishi made was just before Obito was revealed. Okay, yeah. Yes, Sasuke's name is in reference to Sasuke Sarutobi, which in the context of the series pay reference to the third's father, and other power play into the politics of the Uchiha and the Leaf. And yeah, and I know that Sasuke Sarutobi was a real ninja, or at least a real fictional, like famous fiction, like potentially fictionalized ninja. So it was like, at that point, like, you know, when you first meet, like, when it's like, you know, you meet these three characters who are now going to be the main characters. So it's like, okay, we've got Naruto. I like Naruto because Naruto was a cool thing in ramen, and I thought it would be fun, and Naruto's have spiral patterns in them, and it'd be fun if we make it all about spiral patterns, and we'll make it have a thing about the spirals everywhere. But and then it's like, okay, and then there's a girl, I guess I'll call the girl Sakura, Haruno Sakura, so it's like literally like spring cherry blossoms, because, and give her pink hair, because, like, God, like, you know, when you have, there's all these other characters with kind of interesting gimmicks and designs and whatnot, and then you have Sakura, who's literally Haruno Sakura, who has pink hair and is cherry blossom themed, and the symbolism is so kind of, it's not even symbolism, but it's just like, she's just like the cherry blossom girl. Like, that is like a thing. Like, other Sakuras, like Cardcaptor Sakura and every other Sakura. Yeah, who did the best moon rabbit, Kishimoto or Toriyama? I actually know, I think Naoki Takeuchi did the best moon rabbit, but, you know, the best Tsukino Usagi, but yeah, I am such a weeb. I think you may have realized that. Random things. Remember when Sakura was said to have affinity for genjutsu? Yeah, I actually kind of remember that as well. I don't remember when it was or why, but yeah, it was like the idea that maybe Sakura was going to be something. But then it was like, somebody is writing out everybody's name in katakana. Good on you. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Who's the best Akatsuki member? Goofy, Toby, and Obito count separate. Best Akatsuki. Good question. I guess Pain is probably the coolest. Nagato, like Nagato at, like, maybe not necessarily Pain, but Nagato is the coolest. Like, he's yeah. Have you seen Mitsuki's Sage Mode? Wait, who? Isn't Mitsuki that villain from like the very first chapter? Goofy Toby is hilarious. His antics with Deidara. That's true. Yeah, like the they did have a pretty good comic relief kind of duo thing that was going on there. Then, and even like Hiran and Kakuzu, like they kind of had the sort of serious guy and more kind of goofy guy antics going on as well. They kind of had some good things. Oh, Mitsuki is a Boruto character, right. Oh, Mizuki and Mitsuki, right, yep. And I did know that. The question was, did you feel that Itachi was a good guy or a bad guy? The answer is, I already knew the answer when I started Naruto, because that's just one of those things that just got spoiled, because like, it's so important for the rest of the series. Because you know, it's like, when I started getting into Naruto, I didn't bother about having the series spoiled for me, because I was like, you know, like, oh, this is just like a common story, it's everywhere, like, this stuff isn't going to be like a big plot twist anymore. And, you know, like, when the stuff like the last chapters came up happening, like, you know, the spoilers over what the characters looked like in the future and what all their kids were, like, those were everywhere. So, like, I already knew from the start that Naruto ended up with Hinata and Sasuke ended up with Sakura. So I guess I saved myself a lot of pain. How do you feel about Danzo's character? Danzo's interesting. I like that he's sort of like, even though I feel like they almost went a bit out of their way to make him feel a little bit too villainous, like, it would have been cool. I guess because this is Naruto, and you can't really have too much moral complexity, but it was like the idea that, like, you know, the idea that he's just going around and the the idea that he is basically this guy who wants to protect the Leaf Village, even if it's like using kind of unscrupulous methods. Like, that's smart. I like that idea. I think the problem is like the idea that he was just like, oh, and actually he was using the Sharingan to control everyone the entire time, and was also trying to kill everyone, and was working with Orochimaru, and has Sharingans attached on his arm. It's like, you know, one of those things would be like going into kind of like, you know, morally ambiguous territory, but then they kind of did all of them at once, and it was like, okay, we get it, Danzo is evil, like, we get it. I guess you can't have too much moral complexity in Naruto, because Naruto is an idealist, and you can't have a guy who isn't, like, completely good and completely evil, because everyone's got to be redeemed and whatnot, or except they can't be redeemed and whatnot. What do you think about the manga's art? The manga's art is pretty good. Like, it starts off a little bit, like, I feel like, since I kind of read it so, like, slowly, I feel like I didn't really necessarily see the evolution of it. It was kind of very gradual, but it does kind of change. But then, like, near the end of the series, the art kind of drops quite a bit, so that's a little bit of a shame, but I think that kind of happens in general, so. Sasuke and Sakura's relationship is more confusing than Vegeta and Bulma's. It's really not confusing, it's just that I think Kishimoto doesn't know how to write women. And so he's just like, okay, so Sasuke is basically a complete jerk, but he will be better, and Sakura will never give up on her. Whereas, like, you know, with Bulma, like, it's not, like, in the, like, in the History of Trunks manga stuff, and I think in the anime as well, she's sort of saying, like, or I actually can't remember if it was in the History of Trunks, in this Trunks special, or if it was in the actual, like, the main manga stuff, but it was like, but Bulma's like, oh, Vegeta, your dad? Well, he did a lot of pretty terrible things, and he's probably in hell. And it was like so it's like she kind of knows that he's like a complete monster and whatnot. So it's like, yeah. But like with Sakura, it's always just like, no. I mean, even though Sasuke is evil, I guess I still love him because I do. I think they go into more about this into the last, and so I never end up watching the second half of the last. So there's that stuff. There seems to be a plague of the manga creators. Such strict deadlines mean the art quality degrades over time. Yeah, it must be something like that. I read, who was it? Super Eye Patch Wolf, I think, who did that video about Naruto and sort of saying that, like, the reason why Ikimoto's doing the Boruto one is that, like, it's kind of like Kishimoto physically can't keep doing like Naruto anymore because he probably relied on his assistants way more than you would expect him to, because, like, near the end of the series, it starts resembling Ikimoto's art a bit more than it was in the start of the series. So something like that. Sasuke is likely one of the most faithful guys there is. Probably, lol. Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing with Sasuke. He kind of like doesn't seem like he's like Naruto in a way. Well, not really like Naruto. Like he's like, you know, he's so focused on his revenge, he doesn't really care about cute girls. I mean, think about all the times that Karen basically, you know, cuddles up to him and he's just like, leave me alone. So Sasuke's weird. Gabby's a Sasuke fan. No, I'm not. I'm not a Sasuke fangirl. Opinion on Shikamaru and Temari. I think they were a reasonable couple. Like, even if it like it sort of starts, even if it's kind of like, oh, let's just randomly pair them up, I think it kind of worked. Like with Shikamaru and his sort of stuff with like strong women and like how it was related to his parents' relationship and whatnot. It was cool, and like, you know, they actually had like chemistry together on screen as well, so like it kind of makes sense and all that kind of stuff. So it was nice. Yeah, he wrote Minato and Kushina, Shikamaru, and Temari really well. It doesn't excuse Naru, Hina, and Sarasas. Like, Naruto and Hinata's not too bad. Like, I feel like it makes sense, even if it is almost just like this kind of like, you know, just you know, if you keep showing that, if you keep caring for your crush, one day he will love you or something. I guess something like that. Temari's rage was a great counterbalance to Shikamaru's laziness. I think Temari is secretly drawn to him just since he actually beat her in the Chunin exam. Yeah, probably. Yeah, like they were fun. Like, and like and I also like that, the idea that Shikamaru at that point, Shikamaru was just always paired off against women, and he's always just like, oh, this is really annoying. I don't want to have to fight a girl. It was cute. Am I the only one who doesn't like Sasuke? Listen, Josue, I don't know how you pronounce your name. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like Sasuke. I'm pretty sure. Thoughts on Gaara? Gaara is fun. Part 2 Gaara especially is great. Like, especially like early war arc Gaara is like the coolest thing. And he's just like, I'm like, how old I am, like 16, and I'm gonna be leading the ninja war, and yada yada yada, and like listen, I know I've done a lot of terrible things, and blah blah blah, and I used to go and try and kill people, but I'm gonna try and atone for my sins and stuff, and it's fun, like redemption, like he's one of those characters where it's like, okay, I see why people like redemption arcs, because it's really fun to watch. Like, he didn't necessarily, like, he didn't even have to go, sacrifice himself or just have this one moment to, like, show he's a good guy, but, like, he's still atoning, but he's still kind of, like, constantly being, like, I've seen the error of my ways, and I want to be good, and I want to do all this stuff, and guys, please help me, and Naruto, please help me, and I just want to be his friend, and it is really cute. Minato and Kushina had a real world base with Kishimoto's bond with his wife. Okay, that makes sense. I think Kishimoto has a habit of sort of like putting a lot of himself into his fictional characters, because like I read somewhere that his relationship with Boruto was apparently the relationship between Naruto and Boruto is apparently related to Kishimoto's relationship with his son, and if that's the case, then God, that's kind of like almost unhealthy, that he's kind of like trying to make himself a fictional character to kind of like explain to his son why he's not around all the time, and to try and kind of justify that decision. Like, it's almost kind of wish fulfillment-y. It's like, oh, look, my son doesn't hate me because I'm spending too much time working, but don't worry, one day he'll realize I'm the Hokage and everything was all justified, even though daddy issues. You know when everyone goes around and starts talking about how Goku was a bad dad for not being around for his kids? Like, the difference is, like, with Goku, they never really, like, said that he needed to have to do that. Like, that was a thing that was expected of him. Whereas in Naruto, they kind of pretty much, like, yeah, Naruto, actually, even though he's the Hokage, it's kind of bad that he's abandoning his son all the time, and they kind of play into that idea. That's what kind of, like, makes the whole daddy debate on Naruto in particular actually kind of relevant. His son is as annoying as fuck then, lol. Yeah, maybe he doesn't like his son. I don't think it's the truth. It's just, like, because, like, I mean, I do have to give it a bit of credit. When I first saw Boruto, I thought he was just, like, this Naruto clone, and, like, he doesn't necessarily do anything special. But then I saw that, when I saw that it's kind of, like, he has a completely different reason for wanting to, like, wanting to play up that's kind of completely, completely different to Naruto, I'm like, okay. I believe this now, okay. In fact, Boruto is very different in that, like, Naruto's, he's almost like the complete opposite. Naruto's like, this hard worker who everybody hates, whereas Boruto is this prodigy who everybody appreciates, but he just kind of, like, the problem is he's kind of a brat. Naruto was never a brat, really. Well, he was a brat because he was mistreated. Boruto was a brat because he's gotten everything that he ever wanted. Which is obviously, like, on the one hand, almost a little bit easier to relate to, but on the other hand, kind of like relating to it because, like, you kind of don't want to relate to that because you're kind of like, maybe I have everything that I want, but I don't want to think that I'm an annoying brat because of it. I'd like to say that I am humble, so it's kind of like, Okay. Poking in to have a look, Gabby. I admit Naruto is in my big 4 type of series. I'm curious if you would ever do streams on other stuff. I did. I did one on Yu Yu Hakusho once, but, like, it was a very long time ago, and so it's kind of like, basically the only reason I'm doing this Naruto stream is because I just finished watching the series, so, well, not reading the series, not necessarily watching, I was reading the manga, so if I ever, like, get into a really big series and I finish it, maybe I'll do another stream, who knows, I actually don't know at this point. Gohan accepts his dad for who he is and still loves him. Boruto wants more from his dad. Basically, but also Gohan is also, like, surprisingly well adjusted for his age, and it's kind of weird and like almost unrealistic, whereas Boruto is basically like a normal like bratty like 11-year-old. So it's like it's sort of like the it's sort of like the thing where I think it's the comparison between Gohan and Goten and Trunks. Like these sort of like, yeah, these are the two opposite ends of what happens when you have a child in these sort of stories. So like either you have the child who's really well adjusted and understands sort of what he needs to do, or you have the child who just kind of acts up because he's a child. And it's like the first option is the one I find more like appealing, but the second option is the one that feels more realistic. So it's like, cool. What I meant is maybe, I don't know, magical girl themed one, just throwing an idea out there. That could be cool, but I guess that could be cool, but I would need to like think of like a bit more particular topic, and also most people here probably don't watch magical girl stuff, so there's that. Main problem with Naruto was Naruto himself. He didn't have a romantic interest in her until he was guilt tripped in the last. The Genjutsu plot still holds, so it bugs me since he is friends with Kurama. Okay, well, I get, like I said, I haven't finished the last part of the last, so maybe that's the problem. Are you going to do Boku no Hero Academia content in the future? I was thinking about it. I had one idea, but I'm not really sure if it's almost like only a little bit half-baked, and I feel like I really need to like know what I'm talking about before I just randomly start talking about that, you know. Watch Kage After Sakura and do a stream on that. I could do that. That's true. I watch Magical Doremi. Does that count? Yeah. I mean, it's the same guy to do. It's the same team that does Pretty Cure. Well, kind of. I mean, that was like before 2004, and Pretty Cure's been going since 2004, and yada yada yada. The only reason I asked to appeal to one of your very interests. Yeah. Is Rurouni Kenshin going to be read manga next? Is going to be next manga read? I don't know. I guess like I said, the reason why I read Naruto is because I had this app and it was convenient. I need to ask Viz. I'm gonna like. Maybe I'll like tweet them at them and say, hey, I really liked your Naruto app. Can you do something like that for another manga next sometime? So I might do that at one point. Maybe you guys can tweet it as well. Well, you shouldn't if you don't actually believe it, but you know, might as well. Do you prefer the later Nine Tails chakra mode or the early hellish transformation Naruto had? They're kind of two different things. Like, they kind of appeal to two different ideas, because, like, the early ones are, like, you know, the kind of, like, the super-powered evil style, and then, you know, he literally has a demon inside him, and the demon is taking control, so he's literally become demonic. And then later on, it's basically just, like, ninja Super Saiyan, so, you know, it appeals to different people. It's kind of odd to almost think, because it's, like Super Saiyan is one of those things where, like, you know, Naruto gets this drastic change of appearance, and then, like, from that point onwards, it becomes what he uses, like, most of the time. Other than those times where he uses Sage Mode with the cloak, so it's like, I don't really know if I like one or the other. They kind of have different things. If you have $24, you could buy all of Death Note and do that next. I've read Death Note, Zion. I've read all of Death Note, except, like I said, I was borrowing that from the library. I found my public library had Death Note, probably because, like, it was really popular back in the day, and it was, like, you know, really old ones, like, I mean, not like old as in like, you know, gross looking, but like kind of old looking manga. So it was like probably one of the first Death Note releases. So but I did watch those. So I recommend the final battle. I watched the final battle in the anime. It was pretty cool. Truth, but SSU Naruto's modes have logics and rules behind them if you look deeper into them. Oh, you have? How have they never come up before? I feel like we've talked about Death Note. I feel like we have. I don't know. Let me tell you, Rurouni Kenshin's manga is really good. Very nice artwork, nice story too. I have the first 3-in-1s that came out about a few months back. It's nice. That's cool. Are there any characters in Naruto who you wish had gotten more development or attention? Like, basically, a lot of people in part 2, pretty much. I mean, like, in terms of part 2, the only characters where it's like, I legitimately feel like they all had enough development were, like, besides, like, the obvious ones, like, Shikamaru, Gaara, I guess a little bit about Hinata, but even then, not that much about Hinata. Like, there's a lot of questions, but there's a lot of characters where, like, and, you know, obviously, like, 1010 barely got a personality. In fact, like, you don't even really like she doesn't even really do much at all. Like heck, the one big moment of her in the Ninja War where she takes out the Gold and Silver Brothers ninja tools and start using it to wreck everyone. Like that's not even like shown on screen, and I don't even, or at least not on in the manga, and it's like all off screen, and I'm like, why did they do that? Like I get 1010's not a very popular character, but like still. Okay, Age-O Jiraiya versus Roshi, who's the real MVP. They both do have pervy sages, and they both do die heroic sacrifices. I guess Jiraiya was a bigger deal because he actually didn't come back. Chidori or Rasengan? Rasengan is cool, but I think maybe that's also partially because it's like we got to see. I made that joke before, Zeon, about the Go 10 and 10-10 joke. Because like what I really like about the Rasengan thing, I'm just gonna randomly just mention this now. I really liked the Search for Tsunade arc. Like, I really liked that because it was one of the few things where it's like one of the few times where they did a training sequence for a shonen arc training sequence, and I legitimately thought it was kind of slow enough for me to really understand it. 1010 and Shino are the only ones not to have child flashbacks. I didn't even think about Shino. That just makes me that just like shows that character right there. But yeah, because it's like, I mean, like Zeon in particular. I know we were talking about this in terms of Dragon Ball's training sequence, where it's like I wanted to see exactly what they did to overcome all their steps. And with Naruto, you know, like learning the Rasengan, they had specific like steps that he needed to do, things that always felt believable. And it was always like Naruto was struggling until he had something, and something that gave him a breakthrough. And like that kept happening, and then eventually he got the Rasengan down, and it was cool. And I thought that was really cool. So it was fun. Poor Shino. Shino was fun though. Like Shino was fun because he's like the comically serious guy. But like, yeah, he really doesn't do much at all. No. Rasengan was stated to be superior to Chidori. Okay, there you go. But okay, but the Chidori and the Lightning Blade are different, right? Like, because Chidori is like the 1,000 Birds one, and then isn't the Lightning Blade like the better version? Because if that's the better version, then why does Sasuke still use the Chidori? That's another random question I've always had. Somebody answer it. You guys are all the experts here. I'm the filthy casual. And then the filler arcs beat the Rasengan into the ground so far, they even commented on it. Really? In what way? I'm very curious. Byakugan, Sharingan, or Rinnegan. I don't know what the Byakugan Sharingan is. I actually don't know what that is. I have watched the last fight in the anime. Yeah, it was really cool. I did think it was cool. Okay, the Raikiri requires more control. The Chidori is more like a broad version. Okay, cool. You know what? You know what I really love? One thing I did like about Naruto is that Kakashi was their first teacher, but it's Sasuke who gets more learning from Kakashi and who takes up to, more after Kakashi than Naruto does. Like, because obviously, like, you know, the assumption is, you know, when, like, the first mentor they have is, like, going to be the most important to Naruto, but no, the most important mentor to Naruto was actually Jiraiya. I mean, like, he does learn the Rasen Shuriken from, Kakashi, but, like, you know, Sasuke kind of, I mean, like, Sasuke is far more similar to him, both, like, also, it is probably also because of the whole, like, his role in their version of the teams, because, like, in Team Minato, Kakashi is like the Sasuke equivalent, whereas, you know, Obito is the Naruto equivalent. So, like, that's probably why it happened. But, like, even then, it's like, I do wonder how long Kishimoto had the Kakashi flashback all set up, because it was very tightly plotted, and, like, it also, like, the I mean, from the very beginning of the series, there's one point where he says that, like, his friend is one of the people who died defending the ninja village and yada yada. So it's like, I do kind of wonder how long he knew that, like, Kakashi was the Sasuke of his own team, and his Sharingan came from the Naruto of that team. And I mean, I also do wonder how long he decided Obito was going to be alive for, because, like, the moment you see Toby, like, Toby is so obviously Obito, even though I knew it from the very beginning, because, like, his name comes from Obito. He's mysterious. He only has one eye, and like of course he only has one eye because Obito only has one eye. It's kind of like the equivalent of like those the Goku Black is Goten jokes where it's like it's like Goku Black is Zamasu, where it's like it's so like when eventually once you get to a point like his true identity is so obvious, you think that there's going to be like an extra twist. So that's why everyone's like, oh no, Goku Black isn't Zamasu, he's actually Goten from the future, he's actually something else. I did see that picture of somebody who, when the Obito was revealed, they did an unmasking and they photoshopped it and pretended it was Goku. That was the best. I'm just gonna say that. Obito was actually Goku. That was great. Toby being Obito was a mistake. I'll stick by it for years. But it's like, obviously, Wait, what? Is Quinn streaming? Damn it! Somebody, Quinn, you're taking up my stream space. Damn it, Quinn. I don't know what we're gonna do then. That's really bad. Goofy Toby was way better. Yeah, it was, but it's because it's like I always do kind of wonder, how long Kishimoto had some of these ideas. I do wonder how long Kishimoto had some of these ideas for, because it's like with the Obito and the Toby and Obito thing, like pretty much like from the moment, like, because like Toby gets replaced. Toby comes in after Sasori dies, right? And that's pretty early on into part 2. And Toby's around for a while. And then, like, he also explains that Toby is actually Madara, like, and he's the true leader. And he's Madara, like, when he's going out, when Pain is going out to go and fight and take the Nine Tails. And, like, that's pretty early on. And, like, it's the same thing that when he's fighting Pain, he's going around and he has that psychic pep talk with his dad, and Minato is like, the thing is, I don't think that the Nine-Tails Fox was an accident. It wasn't an accident. It was this masked guy, the masked guy from the Akatsuki was responsible for all this. He's the true villain. Pain is just being used by him. And similarly also, when Jiraiya is about to fight, when Jiraiya is about to fight Pain and try and find Pain, he like talks to the Toads and he's like, I'm starting to think that maybe the Nine-Tailed thing, the Nine-Tailed attacking the Konoha wasn't actually an accident. It might have been somebody like Uchiha Madara. So like the whole Madara twist was there, it'd been foreshadowed for a very long time. So it's like, it's why I don't really agree with people. So some people where they say that the series should have ended after Pain, because like during the Pain arc, they made a lot of hints towards the fact that this is only just the beginning, and the real villain is this Madara, who's actually Obito, who's actually Toby, who's actually I don't even know. And God, there were a lot of reveals there, but still. I like the way this happened. I like the way this is formatted. So Moose Haddock says, "Why was the war so long?" And then Wayne K says, "It was only 4 days, not that long, but it's like 4 days, but like over 100 chapters, right? How long? Actually, I think I have a thing here. It says that it starts from." Okay, never mind. The Fourth Shinobi World War starts from chapter 516. So that is 184 chapters for the One Ninja War. Holy shit, that is long. That is long. And it's that long, and it's like really rushed towards the end. Imagine how long the Ninja World War arc would have been if Madara got a proper fight and Kaguya wasn't sealed within like 8 chapters. Just think about that. I feel like the War and Pain arc should have been combined. Like Naruto getting cheers after beating Pain should have been the ending. Like I said, you could do that, but like, I don't know. I'm sure there might have been a better way to handle it, but I just can't think of it, because like clearly it was his intention to make it so that the final boss was basically Madara, so I don't really know. Did you get Conan's jutsu pun? I don't think I did. Tell me about it. Why not? Remember, the Buu Saga was only 1 day, if I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, the Buu Saga was like 3 days, I think. Roughly. But, like, the thing about because I mean, obviously the problem is if it's like a continuous battle, like a continuous battle doesn't actually take a very long time, like really, because like after all in manga, time doesn't really like pass in significant ways unless you actually like take a break. But if it's just non-stop action, there's no breaks. You're gonna just keep fighting the entire time. So yeah, so saying the Jump wanted to end on chapter 700, and because of that, um, the final like Kaguya thing was rushed, or like the Kaguya thing was rushed pretty much so that the Naruto Sasuke thing could be like full and like fully complete. And like I can understand that because I think the Naruto Sasuke fight was pretty good, and obviously the yeah. Madara was the build up for 7.5 years real time. He had to be the last villain, except he wasn't. Whoops. Okay, origami. Kami means paper and also God. Pain is God. Conan is the angel with paper wings. Yay! Oh, I did know about the stuff about the she's supposed to be an angel, whereas because Pain is God, but didn't know about that like the idea with the origami stuff. That's cool. Pain was manipulated by Obito, who was manipulated by Madara, who was manipulated by Kaguya. Well, it's more like it's more like the Akatsuki were manipulated by the Akatsuki were recruited by Pain, who was manipulated by Obito, who was following the will of Madara, who was also kind of being watched by Black Zetsu, who was the child of Kaguya, who was making this entire big plan and manipulating ninja history so they could revive Kaguya. That's even kind of more crazy, but yeah, pretty much. One Piece's Dressrosa arc was 100 chapters compared to Naruto's Ninja War. Okay, that makes sense then. That's cool. Well, I mean, not cool. I think the Boo. I checked this up one time. I think the Boo arc is like about like 93 chapters or something like that, which is odd considering that it was like. I do find it funny when people were sort of saying that like Toriyama was fatigued after the Boo saga, he just kind of wanted to end it all, but like. The Boo saga is like one of the longest arcs in the story, and it also didn't even need to be that long if you really think about it. So it's kind of weird, but I don't know. Yeah, you mean backstab after backstab after backstab. I mean, literally in Black Zetsu's case, he literally backstabs him. The only way to save Kaguya Aspa was to make Orochimaru the real final villain. Oh, that would have been funny. Like if Orochimaru was such a weird character, especially in the context of the series, because it's like he started off as a bad guy, and then eventually all these much more evil guys kept showing up, and then they're just like, well, Orochimaru is kind of small fry at this point. Like I was watching some of the Naruto Gaiden stuff in Boruto with the Sarada story, and how they're just kind of like Orochimaru is just allowed to kind of just sit there and do his experiments, and everyone's like they're keeping an eye on him so he doesn't do anything stupid and crazy. But it's like it's like he's completely dangerous, but they're also like stronger than him. But it's like he's also really conniving, and it's like he's weird. I read somewhere that like some were thinking that maybe he was inspired by Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, because Hunter x Hunter actually came out before Naruto, and so Hisoka technically came out before Orochimaru. And if that's the case, then yeah, other people also say that Sasuke is also kind of a ripoff of Kurapika. I don't know exactly how much. Well, first of all, calling something a ripoff in the shonen genre, I think is kind of disingenuous because like everything's ripping off everything. So like really like there's kind of no point in saying that. But like, I mean, I can see the differences. I can see the similarities. They both have magical red eyes. They both want to like their clans were destroyed and they want to like get revenge against them. They want to restore their clans. But that's pretty much it. Like, Kurapika is supposed to be like the cold calculating guy, but like he's also like the smart one, whereas Sasuke is just like the prodigy. So it's a little bit different, I think, in that case. But ripoff or homage, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. You can't you can't really say what's a ripoff and what's a homage. Like, or if it's just completely like, it's just like completely they've read similar stories, so they have the same ideas at the same time. Like, I always talk about how the Yusuke Tokoro fight and the Gohan Cell fight almost have the exact same methods for triggering them to get stronger, and they happen within a few weeks of each other. And the Gohan fight is a little bit before it, but it's like, you could just say, oh look, sorry, Togashi is just a lame ripoff of Toriyama, or you could just say like, it might just be a coincidence, or maybe they were inspired by each other and it wasn't like a ripoff. I mean, the other thing about like Naruto is like in the Pain stuff, where it's like Pain is going around and killing everybody, and then like Sakura is just like, Naruto, where are you? And I'm just like, it was giving me massive Saiyan arc flashbacks, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think people really need to get over the idea, especially in shonen, battle shonen, that like, just because you've seen this story before, that it's bad because of it. I mean, like, it's basically like once you learn how to like study things in terms of like the genre, at that point it's like, it doesn't matter if you've seen the story before. That's not the important part. The important part isn't that like you need to do the story in a slightly different way. It's like, it's how the story is told and what makes it different from the other ones. Genres are really interesting to get into. I feel like Naruto started with the escalation problem. Oh yeah, I know some people made some videos about it, and I didn't really feel like watching them because I just felt like they were almost kind of just mindlessly bashing on shonen for basically being shonen. But well, the idea that like the power levels just went too high and you've always got to have stronger guys, and it was kind of dumb. Because like Naruto didn't have to have that. Like Naruto didn't really need to have guys who were stronger than the last guys. Like, as long as they were like specifically different people. Ew, what was it? Oh yeah, Killua and Hiei are closer to Sasuke. Killua probably, Hiei not really, because Hiei's like, the whole point is Hiei's just a criminal from the very start, and they're just kind of bringing him along because he's helpful. What did you think of Kisame, that sacrifice? Kisame's the shark guy, right? Wasn't it like he like sacrifice, he kills himself so he won't be able to get the enemy won't get information out of him? That was kind of cool. I did like that thing where it was like, guy is going to the waterfall and he thinks it's going to like reveal like the inner darkness, and then suddenly just Kisame attacks and he thinks that that's his inner darkness. Guy was fun. My guy needed to have more fights. I know he fought against Madara and that was really cool, but it was, first of all, it's really quick, and second of all, like, guy is cool, okay? Thoughts on Killer Bee? I don't know why he raps all the time. It feels like it must be a bitch for English translators, because they have to like get his raps and then make them rap, make his raps start rhyming in English, and like that sounds like that'd be really, really difficult. He's cool, I guess. I mean, he's kind of like, once again, they do this thing where like he's always just like, he's kind of like Naruto as well, but I mean, he's fun, I guess. Can you rap for us? No, I cannot rap, I'm sorry. Okay, do you think the two-tailed Naruto kid... Are you giving me a Naruto power level question? I will consider this for a bit, but okay. Do you think the two-tailed Naruto Kid Final Valley can beat Curse Mark 2 Sasuke Kid Final Valley? What kind of question is that? Isn't that the whole point that they did actually fight and then Sasuke won? What? Why is that a question? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gabby can't rap, lol. Yep, I answered your question before you did. Or maybe not, depending on how this all works, because of stream lag and whatnot. Guy unlocking 8 gates was one of my favorite moments. Oh yeah, no, it was fun. It was cool. Like I said, it's like Rock Lee and my guy kind of sometimes feel like they come from a completely different show because they're just so like cheesy and I love them. But yeah, it was good. Even though it almost just felt like they kind of had to like fulfill a quota there, where it's like, it's like they kept saying that if you unlock all the 8 gates, you're going to be stronger than the Hokage, but then you die. But like, you're like, okay, Surely, if you have that technique, surely you're gonna have to show it off at some point. Someone is gonna have to show it off at some point. We want to see somebody who's stronger than the Hokage just using his own life power. Come on, you know. Uh, yeah, okay, what haven't I talked about? Just like, I have things where I was thinking about talking about it, and I'm like, what was it? Oh yeah. What was your reaction when Madara started summoning meteors and crap? Madara summoning meteors was actually something that got spoiled for me, so that wasn't too crazy, but it was just like, oh, okay. I guess that's a thing now. Sure, why not? I think it. I don't know what was the point when Naruto, like the Naruto power levels completely lost me. I think it might have. I think it was probably at some like probably the point where like Naruto gets like friends with all of the tailed beasts, and then like they all start like fighting with him, kind of, sort of. Maybe I think that was the point where it kind of lost me, where he just kind of like frees everyone, and they're all like working for him, and yeah. But I know like the part specifically where like it completely lost me was the part where like they had Naruto and Sasuke combining the Susanoo and the Nine Tails together, then randomly all of the other ninja teams going into the tails with getting some Rasengans with the tails, and then Naruto giving them all a bit of his Nine Tails, like his special Nine Tails chakra, everybody wearing the Nine Tails chakra cloaks, and everybody just like attacking Obito at once. I'm like, that is just too many levels of what the hell is going on. I have completely lost any sort of idea of what's supposed to be happening. Who do you think should have died in the end? I actually do remember in TFS's playthrough of the Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, there was I think it was Kieran who was talking about how maybe they should have made Iruka die, because like that would have been a very fun, like a very interesting way to kind of like tie it in all to the beginning of the series, because he was like the first guy, well, first of all, the first guy who sacrificed himself for Naruto, besides technically I guess Minato and Kushina. Well, the first guy who sacrificed himself for Naruto that he can remember, the first one who actually really believed in him, and having him sort of die, and also kind of like sort of like having the sort of sacrifice being like you're going to be a great Hokage or whatever. And like that they should have had, that he should have been the guy who died instead of Neji, because Neji was just kind of like another one of the guys. And I guess technically like he was the first guy that Naruto kind of like took no jutsu, unless you count Zabuza, but Zabuza had already like already redeemed himself through death. So I don't know. It was true. Neji being the one who died, but honestly kind of weird, because like he had some stuff, but it's like it's almost like this idea like they wanted to think that like because Neji was the one who died for good, it made his actions in life more meaningful, but it really didn't feel that way somehow. It just kind of like felt like Kishimoto just like a giant dartboard of like all the characters, and he threw a dart and just happened to land on Neji. What was your favorite design of the tail piece? I can't actually remember all of the tail piece designs off by heart. I think the cat one was my favorite though, because it's like kind of bluish. I thought it was cool looking. Right, what are your thoughts on Obito returning as a ghost giving his eyes to Kakashi? At that point, I had stopped caring about any sort of consistency or like anything that made sense. So I'm like, this is cute, and I like that he's coming back as like his child form, because that's the best Obito. Honestly, I just wish that like Kakashi had the Sharingan for longer. We got to do more. Like he literally only got to use the Sharingan for one chapter, until like everything just kind of, well, a chapter and a half, until at that point like Kage gets defeated, and then it's like, oh, and the Sharingan ran out, and I'm like, come on, like if you're gonna do a big Kakashi fan servicey moment, like at least give it time to breathe, But I mean, it was rushed, all that kind of stuff. Hmm. What do you think of Madara breaking his own summoning seal to stay alive longer? Like I said, I already knew that I already knew that Madara like somehow managed to stay alive at some point. So it was like it wasn't really a surprise for me. It was just like, oh, so that's how it happened. I think Naruto's underdog status was ruined once he was revealed to be the child of prophecy and later reincarnation Ashura. Sure, he had the Nine Tails, but he at least had to learn to control him. Yeah, no, that's true. That is kind of true. I mean, with the child of prophecy thing, it was like the prophecy didn't really specifically state what exactly it like meant to be the child of prophecy, other than he's just gonna like make form a great change in the ninja world. You know, like that doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna be like the greatest ninja ever. It just might mean that in the same way as like Pain, it's like he kind of like incidentally caused something that did make a big change in the ninja world. Not necessarily that he's gonna be the strongest ninja ever. Him being the reincarnation of Ashura, that was kind of silly. That was kind of like, okay, we need to find a way to say that Naruto and Sasuke's rivalry is actually the most important thing to the history of mankind. Why not ninja reincarnation? Why not? What's the child of prophecy turn out to be Boruto? I would actually be okay with that. That would be interesting, because it's like, what's it? Like, the prophecy was really vague and honestly didn't even need to be a thing at all, to be honest, because it accomplishes nothing, pretty much. So, you know, that would be interesting. Like, I do wonder what Boruto's going to be. I hope Boruto stops being a spoiled brat. That would be nice, but, like, in terms of Team Konohamaru, like, I'm going with Sarada is far more interesting to me than Boruto. Boruto's just kind of bratty, and he's a little bit annoying because of that. Just a tad. Just a tad. Naru Sasuke or Naru Hina. I mean, I don't know. The problem with, like, both of the relationships is they really weren't even really... They got some moments, but every time they got moments, it was almost like, Kishimoto, I don't understand what you're writing, just stop writing, because you're terrible at it. He couldn't write romance, and that was the problem, and... Because, like, he could make fun situations out of, Sakura's one-sided crush on Sasuke. He could make fun, like, interactions there, but, like... And I guess he could make sort of fun interactions of, like, Hinata sort of, like, getting really shy whenever Naruto's around, but, like, when it comes to actually, like, developing their relationships, like, no, he couldn't really do anything about it. Sarada, what is that? Can you eat it? Yeah, basically. The worst people in Naruto fan is Naruto Sasuke. See, this is the good thing. Like I said, this is the good thing about reading this only once the series was over. I never got caught up in the shipping wars, and I don't care about the shipping wars. I do not care about shipping one bit. Like, really, I don't. Like, I know it is a thing, and like I can understand some of it, but I'm just like, no. And especially not shipping between characters who aren't even, like, canon ships. Like, no. Nah. Not really. The Naruto series has the best facial expressions. Yeah, I guess so. It's fun. All I know, Gabby, is the ship that I wanted won. So, yeah. Yeah, basically. I mean, like I said, I didn't ship. I didn't ship them because, like, the idea of any of these characters having actual legitimate romantic relationships is weird because, like, it doesn't feel like Kishimoto could actually realistically write that at all. Kakashi, yeah. Why not? Like, yeah, let's... Sure. I mean, you know, I'm sure, like, I know there's a lot of, like, yaoi in terms of Naruto stuff. Like, I know there's, like, a lot of, like, Naruto Sasuke shipping, and there's, like... Now I'm wondering if there's, like, Kakashi Obito shipping. There probably was, although, I mean, it... Yeah, like just those, like, the rivalry things. I know that also, Madara and Hashirama, like, they're shipped heavily, and I can see that. Every time Madara's just like, Hashirama is the only one I care about, I just want to fight him, that's all I care about. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, shipping, I can understand. I can understand the shipping. Karin is a satire of fangirls. That makes sense. That explains a lot. I always thought Karin was a weird character. I mean, I guess it was just because they needed some, like, the idea is, like, every girl has the hots for Sasuke for some reason. But that makes sense. Huh. Well, I've got to say, though, in terms of Team Taka, I think, in terms of Team Taka, I think my favorite was actually Suigetsu. Suigetsu was just really funny, because he's just, like, snarky, and he's just like, Sasuke, I'm just, like, backstab you, okay? And he's like, no, you're not. And he's like, you don't know that. I might just backstab you. I am really evil. I kind of wish they had something. They had something more to do. Like it was so weird how they spent so much time like building up all these the characters in Team Heavy, and then being like, oh, this is gonna be a really big thing, and everyone's gonna have a really big job and stuff. But it's like they didn't really do much. I mean, I guess they helped fight. They helped fight Killer Bee, and that's about it. And there was a part, and then Karin was basically that person who was just like, I can sense everybody's power levels. I mean, chakra. I mean, power levels. And oh, look, Sasuke's chakra is so cold and icy. And I'm like, yeah, he is. Yeah, because he's an evil bastard. What's the Kakashi's face episode? Alright, that sounds okay, interesting. And Narasaka fans sent death threats to Kishimoto 2014. Did they actually send death threats to Kishimoto, or is that just one of those like fans send death threats because they wanted Goku to be the main character thing? Like, I can never trust these rumors because like they're just rumors. The girls like Sasuke because he does not like them. It's simple. I don't know about that, but yeah. Karin only went on full on fangirl in the anime, while she only fangirled a few times in the manga. I mean, yeah, that makes sense because that's like. The anime, like, I guess the anime kind of contributes to the idea also of some of these characters being a little bit one-dimensional because, like, I've heard that in filler they often just kind of use those traits and they just kind of, like, take them up to 11 and just kind of exaggerate everything to the point it's just like, oh, yeah. It's like, Sakura goes around and starts violently beating up people all the time and, like, Naruto is an idiot and Sasuke is brooding and Hinata faints and yada yada, I don't know, something like that. If you could do one of these in real life, would you choose Rasengan or Kamehameha? Kamehameha, obviously. It's easier to do, and it can just, like, blow holes in things. The Rasengan, you need to, like, consciously take control of it and actually run with it, and you have to actually hit, like, physically get to the thing and hit it. Like, Kamehameha is just cooler. Who rocks the intangibility better, Obito or Hit? Gotta go with Obito, because not only was it cool, but like the intangibility also like played into his character. I liked that. That was one thing I did. It's like, that Obito was kind of having almost like an identity crisis, and it's like he didn't really know who he was or what he wanted to be, and he was like, he sort of stripped himself of his own identity and just wanted to be no one. And that kind of relates to his own power. His own power was literally being able to slip through things and just, like, have nothing actually affect him. Like, he's not even there. Okay, now I'm getting mixed messages. Someone says that the Narusaku death threats were just rumors, and somebody said, no, they really did send death threats to him. Okay, I don't know what to believe there, but, I'm pretty sure there were crazy Naruto fangirls who went and, did that kind of stuff. Crazy Naruto fangirls. And Naruto, there were also Naruto fanboys. It's like, I think it's a thing that's terrible for both genders. They're both just kind of like, crazy fans who just want their character to win. Like, I do wonder with how much, like, crazy stuff happens on the internet. I do wonder if people have been, like, sending, like, if Japanese fans were sending letters to, like, Toei and stuff every time, like, Super had a bad animation episode and or Vegeta got beaten up. Thoughts on Naruto calling Obito the best guy despite being a murderer. Once again, that was one thing that I'd heard of before. I actually saw it, so I was like, okay, right, yeah. Not just a murderer, he's indirectly or directly responsible for 98% of the deaths on screen. Pretty much. Ish. I don't know. Obito was weird. Like, I guess, like, it's alright because the original Kakashi story was just so good that the Obito, it did kind of mean that even though Obito's story was kind of trashy, like, the Naruto one was just, like the original story was so good, it just kind of elevated it at least a little bit, Oh yeah, Dribble Kenshin's talking about how, like, if Kakashi didn't have his eyes, he would have been completely unstoppable, pretty much. And I'm like, yeah, Pretty much, like it is very convenient. Like they win from pure convenience that Kakashi happens to have his other eye. If he didn't, that's almost like it would be much more difficult for them to win. Oh, it was funny. Naruto fans were pretty hostile as well once Kushina was compared to Sakura instead of Hinata. Ugh, shipping wars. Shipping wars are terrible. Can I just say that? If you're specifically getting pissed off if either your ship was like, if your ship is not canon or like people, or like you think that your ship is better than somebody else's ship, like, get a life. Like, actually. Like these are fictional characters. They are not going to like change, like, it is not related to your own mental state. Like, if your mental state is so fragile that you're going to send death threats to people because you don't like their ship, then maybe you should think about getting that looked into. Seriously. Would you rank Naruto in your top 10 or top 5 manga? I don't... I'm very bad at, like, rating things and judging them in relation to another. Like, I feel like they're always, like, they always feel slightly different to me. So it's like, I don't know. Naruto is a interesting beast. I don't really know what I actually think about it. Have you seen the really old? Oh, Have you really seen the really old Naruto abridged series? Go Gara of the Funk. Okay, I think I watched like 2 episodes of it. I thought it was really bad, but I have seen the Little Kuribo's Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged spoof of it, and not Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, the little, what was it, like the Naruto spoof one, Naruto Abridged parody big fancy thing. That one is hilarious. I don't even watch, like, it's like, I probably missed half the jokes because I never watched Naruto Abridged, but it's just really good. It is like, just, like, completely absurdist comedy, and I love it. Actually, no, I think one of my favorite ones is the crossover he did. Like, it's like a minute or a minute and a half long, and he did like a crossover between the Naruto spoof and Nun Piece, and it's great. And there's like, you need to watch it because I can't. It's so like quick, like rapid fire. I can't start quoting it for you, but it's like there are a few like, and I like Dragon Ball Z abridged, but Yu-Gi-Oh! The abridged, some of the Little Kuribo stuff. Some of the few times where I had to legitimately pause the video because I was laughing so hard I needed to take a break. I have been talking for over an hour and a half, of course I have. But I'm not slowing down. Keep on with the Naruto questions. Oh, maybe I'll talk about other things. Oh, okay, here's a random thing. So, in terms of my favorite arcs of Naruto, yeah, it's probably either the Attack of Pain one or the Sasuke retrieval arc. And they're probably both because they're both like very traditional shonen as well. They don't get too deep into their own like lore and backstories. Like, they do, but they don't. It's like because like with the Sasuke retrieval thing, they did that fun little thing where everything was just nicely plotted and everything made sense and there wasn't like any big fancy twists on it, and it was because it was just like and it was just like, you know, there were 5 members of the Sound 5, and there were 5 members in the Sasuke retrieval thing. So it's like each of them get a specific opponent to fight, and their opponent are difficult because their own specific challenges, and like they have a kind of gimmick related to their specific gimmick, and you know, eventually they overcome it through the power of not giving up and whatnot. And then eventually you have that, like, you know, then they're all going to die, and then the Sand Ninjas show up, and the Sand Ninjas are the best because they are the best. Although Kankuro's pretty boring, honestly, and even though I really like Tamari's weapon and like Tamari's fighting style, she's alright. Obviously Gaara's just cool. And yeah, because it's like, and you have like Rock Lee, and then you have like Naruto fighting Kimimaro, because even then it's like, you know, you have all the sound ninjas, and it's like they're all like a team, and they have like their own specific abilities and whatnot, and then eventually like partway through it's like, but don't worry, we have the secret 5th member of the Sound 5 or whatever, Kimimaro, and Kimimaro is stronger than all of us, and he's gonna be the one that Naruto has to fight. And then like Naruto fights and he struggles, but then Rock Lee shows up, and then Gaara shows up, and then they get rid of him, like, now okay, and this is all leading up to Naruto facing off with Sasuke in this random valley with these random guys one of whom is probably, I think, the first Hokage, the other whom I don't know. What is this very oddly specific backdrop for a fight? And then they fight, and the fight is really good, and everyone uses their ninja power-ups, and they have lots of flashbacks, and it's really great, and then it leads to the very big twist that in the end Naruto loses, and Sasuke leaves, and everybody is depressed, and it all leads to, but then Jiraiya's like, okay, Naruto, I found out the Akatsuki aren't going to show up for another 2 years, let's go on a training journey. And it's a really good way to end part 1. That entire arc is just really great. Just, there you go. You know, we bitch about Naruto, I think. Everybody does. But, like, that arc is great, and the pain arc is also great. Even if, once again, the pain arc feels like very kind of classical shonen. It's like the main, like you know, some guy shows up and says, okay, Naruto, your mentor is dead, Naruto. Now we're going to have to train to beat this guy. Naruto trains in learning Sage Mode, and in the meantime, Pain shows up in Konoha and basically kills everyone. Everybody gets these big moments where they try to save Pain, and like Konohamaru randomly shows up and does a Rasengan, and like Kakashi like goes and actually dies, and like who else dies? I think Choji's dad also dies, and like the village gets destroyed, and there's all these guys. To be fair, the part where they're talking about Pain's identity, I felt was kind of like almost pointless, because like it kind of dragged on far too long. Like it helped, like it was important because it gave the Konoha villagers something to do and a reason why they were all just kind of sitting there waiting to die. But like on the other hand, you know, when Naruto even finds out about Pain's identity, it doesn't really like immediately being like, oh no, this was the only way. If this was the only way, if the guys hadn't gotten this information, if these guys hadn't gotten the information, this was the only way that Naruto would be able to figure out that Pain is actually 6 guys remotely controlled by another guy, and he wouldn't have been able to figure it out if they hadn't figured it out first. But, and you know, the fact that like Pain's identity wasn't even really that like, it felt a little bit anticlimactic, because it was just like, oh, he was just another guy with the Rinnegan, and he was just controlling everybody remotely. Like, it wasn't that like crazy much of a twist, but you know, the part where it's like, oh, you know, and Pain has basically killed everybody, and now we're gonna, oh no, what are we gonna do? And then Naruto shows up at the last minute to save the day, and then it's just like, oh, hey, and then Naruto just like, you know, like, it's like Give Me Saiyan arc flashback. Like that moment in the Saiyan arc where Goku shows up, and then he's just sort of surveying the landscape and seeing all of the corpses of his dead friends, and then Nappa being like, oh yeah, and then there was another guy, but he blew himself up, and then not Naruto, but Goku and Naruto as well, and it's like, you know, oh, you're gonna pay for this, gets really pissed off and starts beating the guy up with his new stuff that he learned from his training. And then, you know, Naruto one, you get another shonen-y thingy where, you know, then later on it's like, Pain's too strong for him. Oh no, what are we going to do? And then Hinata shows up and she's like, no, I won't let you hurt Naruto. I'm fighting because I love you. And then he basically seemingly kills her. And I think this is something that was much better in the manga. The anime ruined it, guys. The anime ruined it, because the anime, I forgot what the anime did, but it was like, I think the anime took out something where Pain goes and stabs her with one of those black things, and he's like, now you know what it felt like when my parents were killed in front of me by shinobi. And it seemed like Hinata is actually dead because he actually stabbed her, where I feel like it wasn't as clear in the show, because I watched the anime part of it because I thought it was a really iconic moment, just so you know. And then it's like, oh no, somebody close to Naruto just got killed in front of him. Then he's gonna go and transform into superpower rage mode and like completely beat up Pain. But then it's like the power has started taking control of him, and the demon is taking control, and he doesn't know what to do, and he's really scared and confused, and he's like, what do I do? What do I do? And then he's like always going to like completely give in to rage, and then eventually his dad shows up, gives him a psychic pep talk, tells him what to do, and then he shows up all cool and confident and knowing exactly how to win. There you go, those are the 2 arcs I like in Naruto and why. I'm sorry, I rambled on a bit, but I hope you kind of understand. It was fun. Now, let's see what people were saying while I was just rambling on about that kind of stuff. I spaced out a little here. Yep, I mean, if you spaced out, I'm sorry. That's probably because of me. Yeah, I was such a sucker for Hinata standing up to the David path. Like, once again, it's kind of like with the stuff with the with Neiji's death, where it's like it just kind of almost feels like Kishimoto spinning it like throwing a dartboard at a list of characters of who's going to die to trigger Naruto's unstoppable rage mode, and he's like, oh, what about Hinata? That would be fun. And like, so it's like, it could have technically been anyone, in the same way that anybody could have died to make Gohan go Super Saiyan 2. But it's like, I don't know. Well, I mean, I know why. Actually, I do know why though. But why 16 was the? Never mind, I'm not gonna talk about Dragon Ball here. But it's like I didn't necessarily have to be Hinata, but I liked that it was Hinata. I hate that Sakura lied to Naruto about loving him. Glad Hinata told Naruto she loved him first. That's true. That is true. It's kind of, yeah. That whole part was dumb. That whole like, oh, actually, she's going off to assassinate Sasuke, but then she can't kill Sasuke, and then it all just ends up with Naruto having to save her, and then Naruto and Sasuke looking at each other, and then like Obito being like, dude, you're kind of like completely blind because you just overused the hacks powers of the Mangekyo because you're an idiot, Sasuke. So I'm gonna have to bail you out here. Fun times. What if Obito said Ningen like Zamasu? He wouldn't say that. Why was Sai there? He was kind of irrelevant. I think Sai was like supposed to be like Sasuke's replacement because like Sasuke was evil and Team 7 still kind of needed a 3-man team anyway because like that's how it works, I think. Like you're kind of invalid if you don't have a 3-man team and a Jonin leader, I think. So it's like, I think that's why Sai was there, but like, yeah, that was... Sai did like nothing. Like at the one point in the Ninja War where everybody's getting their own power-ups and like fighting and stuff, and then Sai's just like, oh, technically I'm a member of Team 7 too, I'm gonna go and do something, and it lasts for all of like 2 seconds, and he gets like shot down. Fun times. Fun times. Ugh. Yeah, he stopped using Sai because he was unpopular. Kishimoto. I could believe that. I mean, like he tried to give him stuff, but it's like, yeah, the idea that he just like doesn't have any personality is not necessarily very compelling. Especially the fact that he just acts like a jerk for everyone. Maybe he thought that if he was still acting like a jerk, that would make him likable because Sasuke is like that. But I don't know. I've got no idea. Oh my god, a drink of water. I got water here. I've been talking for far too long. Yeah, also Obito bailed Sasuke out like 4 times in the Kage Summit because he's an idiot. That is true. Yes, exactly. It's like, see, that was the kind of the moment where I was like, yeah, it's like, Sasuke just like tried to just take over the entire ninja world, and he almost succeeded because of his Hacks Mangenkyo powers, which all he really needed to do was kill his brother, and then he gets the Mangenkyo Sharingan. Good job, guys. That was simple, like, really simple. Like, Tobirama was right, hashtag Tobirama was right. They should have done more with Kakashi's dad. I mean, like, they gave him backstory, and it kind of explained why he was why Kakashi was the way he was, and then, like, that part when Kakashi's basically dead, and then he meets his dad in the afterlife, and he's like, Dad, I've forgiven you, and whatnot. Like, that was nice. Also, if you kind of a bit odd because if you hadn't read the guidance chat like the part thing at the end of part 1, like you'd kind of be a bit like sort of forget. That's the thing about Naruto. It's like Kishimoto had a very like say what you want on Kishimoto, but he had a very, I don't know what that is. So, say what you want about Kishimoto, but he had a very good grip on his continuity. Like he knew what the characters' motivations were. Like it didn't really, like, even somebody like Sakura, like, as annoying as Sakura was, she was, at the very least, consistent. Like, everything she did was kind of, like, it was always consistent. Like, she had that personality, and the personality was always like that, and it was great. It wasn't great. It was, like, Sakura was a pretty boring character, but, like, like, yeah, I guess it never really felt like Sakura was ever out of character. She's just barely didn't have very interesting character in the first place. Right. Kishimoto actually stated that Sakura's confession was true since he wanted to depict an honest girl. Naruto in that scene was actually being dumb, which led to Sai explaining correcting him. I can't remember what she said. Like the part where she's like, "Oh, I actually love you and not Sasuke." I don't know. That's weird. Did you only watch the sub of Naruto, or did you experience the sub as well? Only really the sub, to be honest. Sasuke wasn't even strong enough to kill the Kage. Two of them almost killed Sasuke outright, and the right Kage would have had a chance, but he was so mad because he thought his bee was captured. Oh, Sasuke, you're such a loser. But does Naruto's relationship with Sasuke have some gay overtones? Definitely does in the anime. I don't know about the manga. I'm not sure because, like, you know, everybody always says like the hero and rivals have are gay for each other. Like that always happens, and I don't know if that's like an actual thing or if it's just like people who just like read into it in that way. So. Man, I felt Sakura was pretty forced in points. Yeah, I mean, especially at the end of the story when Sakura's suddenly like, "Hey, look, guys, I've got a power up too. I'm gonna fight with you as well. Look, Lady Tsunade, I finally caught up to them." And you're like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay, interesting, very interesting." So, sorry, and it was like, "Oh, okay. Like, do you really care, Sakura? Like, do you actually really care that much? Because like." Is like why, like, I get she's here because she's part of Team 7, but even from the very start, like, Sakura had never really done anything interesting. The only thing, like, important thing she did was, like, at one point in the Chunin exams when, like, all of Orochimaru's guys are coming after her and she's like, "I'm gonna protect you all," and she cuts off her hair and she holds them off for a little bit. Like, that's all Sakura really does of note in the entire series, and that's kind of I mean, like, she fought Sasori, but even then it was forgot her name, the old woman who did most of the talking, most of the important stuff. She just kind of like, you know, she just kind of is just kind of there to punch things. Are you gonna watch Naruto power scaling videos to see how cringy it can get? No, because I don't even watch Dragon Ball power scaling videos. Why would I watch Naruto ones? That's even worse. I love when Sakura rushes Tail's Madara and just proves just how useless in the battle she is. You could make a counter of like how, you know, like the Krillin owned counter. Like you could make a Sakura owned counter of just how many times she like just runs in there trying to do something and then completely failing. And it is just so weird because, like, Kishimoto didn't need to write her that way. Like, he could have made her be able to stand up for herself, but he didn't. That's why it's so weird. Right, which is more OP? It's Jutsu, the Inner Tensei or the Rinnegan? I feel like the Rinnegan is more obvious drawbacks, or, like, or at very least it does for Sasuke, maybe just because Sasuke only has one of them. But, like, for him, it feels like his Rinnegan seems to just shut off all the time. So, like, I don't know. But, like, that seems to have more abilities. The Edo Tensei, yeah, you kind of just, like, summon unlimited zombies. But I guess that only really works, like, you need to, like, really prepare it beforehand. So, I guess the Rinnegan technically, but... Sakura made an antidote for Sasori's poison. That was the most important thing she's ever done. Yeah, basically something like that. Jeez. I think I am losing steam on my Naruto conversations. If you have some more good questions, you can do that. But I don't know, if you have any other questions, I can open this up to other stuff if you really want to. Okay, Rinnegan isn't a jutsu and Rinnegan is way better, right? Madara has 2 and has 0 drawbacks. Okay. How pointless do you think the Sakura versus Ino fight was? I don't think it was pointless. I think it was just like him trying to give Sakura some focus, but also realizing he didn't know anything about Sakura other than she was in love with Sasuke, so making her being in love with Sasuke basically the drive of that fight. So it was fine. It was fine. It's just the character trait just not very interesting. It's like every time they make a joke about Choji being fat, it's like, yeah, it's not that interesting. So yeah, the best thing she does is saving Sasuke during this Kaguya fight and pumping Naruto's heart when Kurama was taken out. Oh yeah, right, she did that as well. What do you think of Ino? Ino is pretty boring. I mean, she has a cool. Although they end up using her ability for really cool stuff later on in the series, so I like that. But she's pretty boring. Like that one point where Asuma is dying and he's giving like Shikamaru and Choji these really like good speeches about like what their characters are like and their personalities. And then when he gets to Ino, he's just like, take care of the boys and don't lose to Sakura. That's it. And I'm like, yep, that's Ino. That's good job. How long do you intend to stream? I don't know. Maybe at least for about half an hour, but maybe probably not. I'm probably gonna end it off in a few minutes, to be honest. I mean, yeah, sure, I could talk for like 10 hours, but I don't want to. What do you think of the Kaguya alien stuff? I actually liked the fact that Kaguya was kind of an alien thing. I like this because it's like with the Saiyan stuff. Like it expands the world a lot more. Now you can actually explore like ninja aliens if you really want to. It gives you like it means that you can continue kind of the power scale if you really want to. If you don't want to just sort of soft reboot this kind of stuff like they're doing with Boruto. So like I think it actually does add a lot of possibilities. Do you think the Edo Tensei coming back was a lazy narrative approach? When Orochimaru first used it for me, I was like, that shit is so fucking OP, man, so it made sense for him to bring it back. What, do you mean like coming back in a ninja war? I don't know, like, I don't know. Like, the problem with the Edo Tensei thing was just like, narratively, there were just too many of them and it just lasted for way too long, so it was just like, oh, okay. Fine, sure, whatever, but because there were just so many different characters that came back, and it's like, do we really care about Haku and Zabuza fighting again? Like, do we really care about them? Like, actually, do we care about all the Akatsuki members? Like, actually, especially considering a lot of them get sealed off screen, so it's kind of like, oh yeah. Oh god, the Asuma thing was so cringe. Okay, let me correct that for you. Sharingan, Rinnegan, or Byakugan, lol. I mean, Sharingan's probably the coolest, although not really the Mangekyo one, because I don't want to have like crazy OP powers that also make me go blind. Like the normal Sharingan, I think is cool enough for me. The Rinnegan is just like god powers, so like that's kind of like a bit weird. Byakugan would be cool, but everybody like I always find it so kind of like a bit gross looking when you can see their veins when they're using it. So random thing. Did you watch Boruto movie? I haven't watched the Boruto movie, but I read the manga version, and I also watched the Ultimate Ninja Storm version, so I don't really know what to think of Momoshiki. How do you go about binge reading manga? Well, like I said, I haven't really binge reading manga. I just kind of go until it gets a bit boring, pretty much. Yeah, the Rinnegan is crazy. The Rinnegan was the sole thing allowing the villains to do their plans. Like, well, yeah, because it like gives you ninja god powers. Yeah, basically. Yeah, because like brings people back to life and absorbs ninjutsu and summons meteors and summons the 10 tails and yada 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 yada. Well, it's very kind of weird. Like Kaguya doesn't have a Rinnegan, does she? She just has the Byakugan and that like I guess she's like that like Sharingan Rinnegan combination thing. Her third eye, whatever the hell that is called. I don't know what it's called. You can correct me if you want. I don't really know though. Yeah. Did Yahiko Pain decide to manage to convey you a godlike presence? The animated soundtrack really helps, but in the manga, the angles and the panels and the colors help. I don't know. I never really felt like Pain was actually like a god. I just felt like he just kind of had like he just had a god complex. But maybe that's just because like once again I knew there was just one guy controlling all these other guys. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on Boruto and Sarada? I feel like I've talked about this. Sarada sounds really interesting. Just the very idea that she is a female Uchiha, it pretty much just gives her depth because like she is a female Uchiha. And she has daddy issues, and she's like part Sasuke and part Sakura. Boruto's kind of bored. Like, I don't really like Boruto because I think he's still a bit too bratty for my taste, but maybe that's just because, like, he's almost too realistic to the point, like, I don't like it. What did you think of the 10 tails being a giant tree? It made sense, I guess. Like, yeah, it made sense. Like, why not? Man, the series had so many eye powers. Yes, it did. I do actually like that they did kind of try to sort of like reconcile them by saying they're all kind of like related to the one thing. So it's like, I mean, because apparently the Byakugan is like, because like the Byakugan, like Kaguya had that at first, and I think one of her like Hamura has the Byakugan, and then Hagoromo has the Sharon has the Rinnegan, and then it's like I don't know why the Rinnegan ended up then like the Rinnegan kind of gets split up into the Sharingan and the Senju powers, and it's like so then it's like you have to combine them again to get the Rinnegan back, and it's like that kind of makes sense, I guess, kind of ish. But I guess the sage in sixth part isn't necessarily a god. So I don't know why they kept saying there's like god ninja powers, but I don't know. I'm rambling on. I think you've noticed. I mean, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, so maybe I will probably end it off a little bit. Tell you what, if you guys have like any like pressing questions, ask the pressing questions, and I'm just gonna talk about things. Okay. The Byakugan has nice powers, and it might be the safest option. Everyone and their mum will come after you if you have the other ones. Lol. Pretty much, and it doesn't seem like it's like mental trauma makes it worse. Were you visibly annoyed by Madara basically turning on every hack in the book where Obito revived him? A little bit. I was just kind of rolling my eyes at that point where it's like, okay, fine. He's got this ability, and this ability, and this ability. Why not at this point? I'm just here for the ride. Like I said, I had sort of stopped sort of thinking about things by the time, like, Obito absorbed the 10 tails, so... Are you interested in making Boruto chapter reviews, though? Probably not. I mean, I might, probably not. Like I said, I think the other thing is, like, I'm far too casual of a Naruto fan to actually remember all this stuff, to actually, like, do reviews. Like, with my super reviews, like, I feel like I know everything back to front. So, like, I know, and the spoilers and everything like that. But with Naruto, I don't. I don't even know these Kishimoto interviews that people keep talking about. Alright, bye, Son Gohan. Not to be confused with the real Son Gohan. I always found it weird there was a Kaguya clan that looks just like Kaguya but only have her bone powers. Makes you think that the Kaguya idea came from the clan. Yeah, I always thought that was weird as well. It was like, yeah, it's the Kaguya clan, but they're not Kaguya. I mean, that might have been just an accident, but yeah, that was interesting. Kakashi said that Sakura's feelings for Sasuke were changing, but then Kishimoto ruins her development by having Sakura confess to Sasuke a second time. Good, yeah, fun. Great. Fun times. I don't have any pressing questions, but I want to say it's been a fun time burner, and for an idea I'll probably ask you on Twitter anyway, since this is a Naruto-focused stream. You can use Susanoo without eyes, and survived unsurvivable amounts of damage. I rolled my eyes so hard they came down the other way. Yeah, that was weird. Like, how can he use the Susanoo without eyes? Okay, sure. Kaguya did have bone attacks, that's how she killed Obito. That is true, yeah, but... And it's like, and Kimimaro is also kind of like pale, right? And like has like sort of white hair, so somebody better go and talk about that. Did they ever really touch on that later on? Probably not. Talk about how Mogi who's Mogi? I feel like I should know who that is, but I've forgotten. I like the beginning of the Pain arc has an investigation and decoding messages. Yeah, like how at the beginning of the Pain arc, no, the beginning of the Ninja War arc, they seem to actually like be talking about war tactics, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. We're actually gonna be talking about like what a war is like, but then it just turns into ninja power ups. Fun times. Kakashi using Susanoo was a plot hole, plain and simple. Is it a plot hole, or if it's like actually sort of explained, but like the explanation's kind of crap? I don't know. It's like, but then again, I don't even care about, the people talking about how Trunks' rage form was an ass pull, and how, everyone else's, how the Genki Dama sword was an ass pull. You all know I can talk about the Genki Dama sword, because I love that. I don't care about what you guys think. Yeah. Okay, can you convince me why I should be a Gohan fan? I mean, I like Gohan, but I do not feel the same way other people do. I have no Super Saiyan 2 Gohan nostalgia, FYI. Okay. Well, like, let's put it this way. It's like, I think what makes Gohan interesting is, like, when Goku and Vegeta as well, like, they have a habit of, like, they want to make them look so cool so many times, there's, like, often, like, they don't seem to need to struggle that much. Whereas Gohan is the character from the very beginning, he's, like, far more sort of, like, First of all, he doesn't start off so, like, ridiculously overpowered. He kind of has to learn to be learn how to be strong and, like, learn how to be brave and, like, you know, yeah, courageous and, like, not run away and, like, stand up for his beliefs. And, you know, he's kind of like, he feels far more, like, relatable, like, as an actual sort of character. So it means, not to mention, it means that, like, since he has that whole hidden power stick, it means that, like, you know, he can potentially be the strongest character in the show, and it does happen multiple times, and it kind of feels like everything was sort of like, from the beginning, when he just, like, explodes against Raditz, you're like, oh, you know, it'd be cool if one day he'd be able to use that, and he could control it, and he could use that to actually, like, save the day in more than, like a brief explosion of rage, so it's cool. I love the part when he beats down all the tailored beasts with one ray gun. Totally makes sense. Yep. Yep, that was a fun time. A fun time. Anime give more like Kaguya a backstory. You should watch it if I have time. I probably will, you know. Yeah, Gohan's relatable because he's actually human. That's why I like him. Well, he's half human, but yeah. The animation on the Hinata part is awesome. I don't know which Hinata part you're talking about, but sure. Who's the giant Susanoo? Susanoo better, Sasuke or Madara? I don't know. I think everybody's Susanoo's kind of have started to blend into my head. Like, I can't even remember what the difference is between, like, the old Itachi ones and, like, the perfect Susanoo and why. I think one of them has wings. I think that's the difference. I don't know. Alright, last questions, and I'm probably going to end off soon. Any last minute questions? Go and do it. I'll wait for a bit. Okay. I don't know if I've transformed into a Gohan fan, but thank you for answering me. Okay, yep, Sasuke's has wings, yes. But I thought Madara's did as well. Okay, Madara's has extra arms. Okay, see, there you go. I didn't even notice that there was a difference, because they just blend into me. They just blend in. Rock Lee is the true underdog. Okay, Naruto fights versus DBZ fights. Well, Naruto fights, they try to use a bit more kind of ideas of sort of strategy. Although it does have the, you know, there are pros and cons to it, because the pros with Naruto is it feels like there's more strategy to it, but the cons is it's a lot slower, because they feel like they often have to go and, like, tell you exactly what's happening and what they did after they did it, and it's just kind of like, it feels like it's sometimes the pace slows to a crawl. Also, I feel like Naruto fight scenes are often a little bit busier, and I find it a little bit more difficult to find out what's going on. Whereas in Dragon Ball, it's pretty, like, either they punch you, or they don't punch you, or they hit you with an energy blast, you know? How well would the Chunin exams rank alongside other tournament arcs for you? I mean, it's definitely on a level, I mean, it's probably better than a lot of the Dragon Ball tournaments, to be honest. Probably better than the 21st. Maybe the 23rd as well. I'm not completely sure. But I don't know. Are you planning on doing any streams similar to this? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. Okay, I meant to ask you this way back then when I first found out you were into Naruto. How would you rate the series as opposed to your main thing, Dragon Ball? Like I said, Naruto versus Dragon Ball, they're different beasts. They try to do different things. Like, they are very different, like, fundamentally. So I really have trouble, like, rating them and, like, comparing them. And I know that almost sounds like a cop-out answer, but, like, it's true. That's what I believe. Would you agree that Boruto is more talented than Naruto was at age 12? Yes. I mean, he learns the Rasengan quicker. Like, yeah. He seems to be kind of a prodigy guy. Okay, is your hair naturally curly? Yes, it is. It is naturally curly. It's always like this. So, yeah. What did you think of Orochimaru when you first saw him in the Forest of Death? Did you have a reaction you remember? Not really. I think it was just more like, oh. Because I knew Orochimaru was a guy who was, like, kind of important-ish. So I was like, okay, so this is Orochimaru. And he's a snake guy. Okay. I think I remember, like, yeah, like, some of his abilities. I'm like, oh, that's kind of creepy. So he does project that kind of aura of creepiness, but yeah, pretty much. Goku gets on my nerves. Like, I just wish he would go all out from the start sometimes. No, don't hate on Goku for being Goku. That's what gets on my nerves, when people are just like, I hated how Goku was always like the guy who saves the day and is always stronger than everyone else, and I'm like, do you want the main character to not be the main character? like, I understand people kind of hate that cliche, but it's like it's such a consistent part of the genre. Like the idea that the main character is the strongest and will always like fight the final fight. It's just like it's just annoying. I don't know. I don't know why people like. I mean, I understand the criticism, but it's like it's like the genre thing. Like it's basically part of the genre, so I kind of just sort of accept it. Okay, least favorite arc in Naruto. Well, it's probably the Ninja War, because the Ninja War kind of like saved everything and ruined everything, and it just dragged on way too long. Pretty simple. Okay, last question. Who is your opinion the best antagonist of the series in terms of memorability, goals, and battle prowess? I mean, yeah, it's obvious answer, but Pain. I mean, Nagato. And I actually do like Nagato's backstory. Like, you know, he's just this, like, he's literally a revolutionary, and a revolutionary who kind of didn't really know what to do after like the charismatic leader of the revolution died, and to that point he just decided he was a god, and is like, you know, he has plans, he has so many abilities, and he's cool, and like, you know, he gets redeemed as well in the end, so that's always fun. Oh yeah, and about the tuning exams, I mean, Dark. It's not as good as Dark Tournament. It's probably as good as maybe as good as that one in Hunter x Hunter, the first tournament in Hunter x Hunter. Maybe, I don't know. Thoughts on Naruto saving the world with a sexy jutsu? It was cute. I think I would have liked it better if I hadn't gotten it spoiled for me, but I got it spoiled for me because I didn't care about spoilers. So yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe one last question. Let's see if there are any more questions. If there are not, I think I'm going to end this stream off. I've been talking for over 2 hours. I can do this non-stop, and I only had a little bit of water. Look at this is my magical power for talking for 2 hours about Naruto. It is a blessing and a curse, I guess. But then again, with the amount of time I just like stopped rambling and then like I stopped mid sentence, it's not necessarily that good. I'm not the best at rambling about everything, but I can do it. I can do it in a pinch. Okay, last question. When is the next stream? Whenever I feel like it. Pretty much. I know that's a lame come-out answer, but like pretty much yeah, whenever I feel like it. Yeah, pretty much it. Thanks for the stream. Always nice to talk anime with you. Thank you. And yes. Oh, how do I know how to. You have a good talking voice without getting dry or worn out much. Thank you, because I always thought my voice was really high pitched and it was kind of bad, but it's nice that people enjoy that, so yeah. Okay, yep, so I'm gonna end this stream off, right? I just go to OBS and press stop streaming, so hope you guys had a good day. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, or a good night for most of you guys in America, and I guess I'll see you the very least for a next super review, but I might have another random vlog coming out this week. I guess I'll see. So until then, guys, see ya.